You know what song I've had in my head all day?
What song?
The Gilligan's Island theme.
Oh, that's rough.
Now, you're welcome to everybody else who just started thinking about it. You're welcome.
Frankie C is here ruining your life.
Mm.
And we're talking about the Boeing whistleblower. Conspiracy theory deepens.
Really? More stuff?
Bad stuff.
Oh, good.
Kate Middleton and the scandal. We'll continue with that. Of course, we have to discuss the TikTok ban that's coming into place. That'll be an interesting topic. We have the couples question, which we asked last episode, and we'll answer on this episode. Don't worry if you missed it. I'll fill you in. And, of course, we got a blind top 5 coming up. All right here in one beautiful little package called a podcast.
You said little package.
Thanks, Janine.
I got to fill in for, Janine's a rare sighting these days, so we got to fill in. What the hell?
I know. We should start. She should put out a Photoshopped photo to get that going.
Where's J-Sabs?
We have other assorted items and such, including the robot that's going to take over everything. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's get right to topic number 1, Frankie C. The Boeing whistleblower. This has become basically a steady theme in these conspiracy theories, which is kind of crazy to say, but you have Epstein is 1, and then you have John McAfee as 2, who says, I am happy. I would not commit suicide. I would don't believe it. Everybody, I'm good. Wouldn't happen. And then,
Well, how did McAfee die? Was it suicide this side, or was it he just died? No. How is the official?
They say he committed suicide.
That's weird.
So that's weird. So now here we are with Barnett on Monday. Some people think Ant's a little crazy talking about this. On Tuesday, maybe some people kind of come over to my side a little bit. Here we are on Friday now, and same exact thing. A friend of John Barnett comes out, gives an interview. Old family friend, identified only as Jennifer, told ABC4, the local station, John Barnett was speaking to her, and he said, if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. What do the dealers do in Vegas?
I wonder how, if there's a study on if that's how many of those are 100%. Because I'm sure there are people who've said it and
then go the other way,
and then maybe
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Yeah, I'm sure.
But who knows? I don't know what the numbers are on that. Again, I'm trying to err on the side of nobody murdered. Nobody.
Yeah. Now I am reluctant to say this, but when we talked about this on Monday, 2 people, because I don't want us to be a part of the news ever, and that's why I keep yelling at Janine to be quiet. But 2 people reached out to me, and again, this is why I'm reluctant to say it, because this is unverified. These could be wackos. I didn't do any background checks or anything. It's not my place. I don't want any part of it. And I wasn't going to say this, but I just want to, now that this has come out, I just want to say 2 people reached out to me. 2 people said they knew this guy, and they both said he was always very happy-go-lucky, always very life of the party, sunshine.
That doesn't mean much, though.
Frank is right. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Most. What do they say? Usually the happiest, people that look or act the happiest.
Robin Williams, right?
Exactly.
You can't get a better case study than Robin Williams.
Exactly. You never know what's going on behind the curtains.
Yep. Exactly.
So people could put up a face of I'm fine, but inside you don't know what's going on. So
right.
You can't go by the way people act in most situations. I don't think. I'm no doctor, I'm no psychiatrist, but that seems, just being a person living in the world, that's what it seems to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I will say the friend, this Jennifer, said that Barnett speculated to her that he might end up dead after he started speaking out publicly about this Boeing stuff back in 2017. She said, quote, he wasn't concerned about his own safety because I asked him, I said, aren't you scared? He said, no, I'm not scared, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. It was immediately clear when the conversation, no, it wasn't immediately clear when they had this conversation. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Man.
And that was last episode. It was all the lawyers saying we were stunned. He there was no signs of this throughout the whole process. He was happy to be doing it. He was happy to be going through this and finally, getting the opportunity to clear the air and all that stuff. So
is his death being investigated?
Yes, it's being investigated. Now, here's where I have a big problem. It's being investigated by the Charleston Police Department, which I said last episode. Not that I don't love those guys and gals, whoever they are, but this seems a little bit bigger than just a local PD. This, I feel like, should be at least assisted by, if not taken over by, the FBI, because it seems like it's too big of a case to just have a local police department.
I'm sure if something,
I understand it happened there, but the ramifications are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it should be a nationwide police organization that's doing it.
It might be. I mean, we don't know everything that's going on, but if it turns out that the police, this is more than just a open and shut case, then I'm sure maybe they'll call in other resources. But maybe it is an open and shut case. But until they figure that out, that it's maybe that it might be more than what it seems to be on the surface, then I'm sure other resources will be pulled into the case.
If you're an investigator, isn't the best thing that can happen to you an open and shut case?
Oh, how the hell? Yeah, of course.
Like when you come in for the morning brief and it's like, Frank, we got an open and shut case for you. I'd be like,
yeah. Like, do you mean I'm home by 11? Great.
This would be great. I'd love to open and shut a case. The best thing I like to do after opening a case is shutting it.
Shutting it's like the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shutting everything down, baby.
There's always a chance of a reopen, but for now, we're treating it like it's open and shut.
Yeah, not locking it, but we're shutting it.
Right. But we are going to try and lock it down.
That would be nice.
That would be great.
All right.
If not, we're going to put a pin in it. See, the police don't put pins in things. That's only in corporate America.
But they literally put pins in things, like on
those little boards.
Yeah. And with the string sometimes.
Oh, I love that. Wouldn't you like to do that just once in your life?
Is that like an official thing, or is that just if they want to do it, they do? Like when you go to training to be a detective, is like part of is there string in the precinct waiting to be tied together with push pins?
Yeah. Are you saying, is there a day in the training course where for 2 hours they go through the proper procedure for pinning and stringing? Right.
Because I could see you shouldn't be stringing these two things have nothing to do with you. Why would you string that's points off. The string test.
Right.
You got to pass the string test. And it's got to be red string too, or else what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, we're not amateurs. Although I will say this, when you have multiple color strings, then it's a real deep case.
Oh, I can't even. That's for like Sherlock Holmes stuff.
That ain't no open and shut. That's open and dive in.
That's multiple crimes happening, but they're all somehow related, and I can't even get into how many strings that takes.
It's still a lot of strings.
And push pins.
A lot of strings and a lot of push pins. Lastly, co-workers that knew John Barnett said that he made some pretty powerful enemies. So that's not helping.
That does not help. I'm sure those pretty big, powerful enemies will probably be talked to, reached out to.
I hope so.
In some way.
I hope so. Moving over to Kate Middleton, Frankie C. This continues to go on here in the conspiracy theories that are surrounding her. The one thing that I want to tackle on this that is really like the news story of the day update is that Kate Middleton's senior staff, so her senior staffers, haven't seen or spoken to her and didn't know about the surgery at all whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah. No, that is definitely weird. You'd think someone would be with her to help, an aide of some kind to help her, even especially if there's surgery going on. She can't do stuff for herself.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think
Mm-hmm.
one of the servants or someone would be with her.
Right. Now, take this for what you will, because again, it's a source that spoke to one of the news outlets. And they say, quote, a few of Kate's senior staffers haven't been able to see or speak to her, and they didn't even know about the surgery until it was announced publicly. It's caught them so off guard.
Yeah.
So, according to a Kensington Palace insider, the mom of three has only just started opening up to her inner circle about the nature of the surgery. Again, I just don't understand what's so
Well,
cryptic about this. I mean, unless it's something like she's just trying to hide cancer, but at this point in the pandemonium, you'd think you would just have to come right out and.
well, two things. One, great job, Mercury. We're glad to have you with us. And awesome stuff. Stay in that good place. Two,
What did Mercury say?
You see it?
Oh, wait. Okay, here it is. I suffered from depression for many years, was very close to checking out. I was glad I was able to find the right people to get me back where I am now, in a pretty good place. Don't say anything else about this, Mercury, because I'm just going to assume you're talking about me and Frank when you say the right people. Don't correct that.
We'll just.
Feels like it's not us, but I want to believe it's us. So
it makes him feel better. He needs that boost.
It helps keep me out of the bad place. Yeah. So just let's move on from the topic. But yes, so, I'm glad you're here too.
The other thing is, my wife's aunt and uncle have a theory. They are both in the medical industry.
Okay.
And they have a theory about what's going on. They don't know the case. They don't know her. They have nothing to do with Kate Middleton at all. But this is their theory.
Go ahead.
Is she had, I think, remember they said abdominal surgery. The theory goes that she's had a colostomy bag done. And the look, the prim and proper princess is going to be in hiding for a while until that's resolved and that is removed.
Do they remove colostomy? I thought you had that.
Yeah, it could be reversed.
Oh, it can be? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if it's not too serious of a issue, then it could be reversed. So that's what they're saying. Well, that's what my aunt and uncle are saying. It could be because of the length of time she was away from the public eye, the severity of the, I guess, the procedure that they're talking about, but we don't know exactly what it is, and the fact that she doesn't want to be on camera anywhere seems that, and she wants to be away from the public eye, seems to them that maybe it's that situation where she just wants to hide that and doesn't want to be.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Here, Paul brings up another thing that makes a lot of sense too. Plastic surgery. I don't think so, but maybe. You wouldn't want to be out of the public eye for that.
Could be. I mean, what's weird is that actors, actresses, they do it all the time. They disappear for a while. And they're able to get away with not being in the public eye while they get their surgeries done and whatever. I don't know why all of a sudden, it's like, but this has been since she's been out of the pic, nobody's seen her since like December, right?
Since Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then they put out this weird photo, this doctored up photo. It could be plastic surgery, but I don't know. I don't know.
Coco has heard about the theory that Frank is. Why no Coco?
Why no Coco?
Seinfeld reference for anybody who doesn't know. Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Somebody else was mentioning to me in a message after we talked about it the other day that they were like, "In what world does the princess Photoshop her own photo? Like, that's unbecoming of a princess." They were saying, and I'm like, "You're right."
I'm sure
they have all those prim and proper rules about what they can and can't do.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have their own photography team and people that would take that, publicists and all this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, then there's the other side of the coin where, if you're that big and powerful, you could do whatever you want. So if you wanted to take your own photo and Photoshop the shit out of it, just because you like doing that, you could probably do that. But I'm sure there's a a army of people that would say, "Don't post that until we've approved it" or whatever. But who the hell knows? I mean, I don't. The ins and outs and the workings of that kind of level of whatever is going on there. Maybe she's able to post whatever she wants. Maybe that's part of her things that she's allowed to. I don't know.
Maybe
So,
it's hard.
yeah,
It's hard to tell. I don't know.
so the thing, I guess we're just gonna. They said she'll make an appearance after Easter, so we'll wait till Easter comes. In the meantime, hey, it's all speculation. We don't know anything until they tell us. Until they
Now,
come back,
here's the rub, though. Their Easter not until November because their Mother's
Damn.
Day we already passed. Those crazy bastards over there. I don't know what
Don't
they're
they
doing.
skip a year? This is leap Easter, so they go to next November.
It is Leap Easter. You're right. Don't forget to hit the like button on this. Share this episode, whether you're watching on X, Facebook, or YouTube. If you're watching later on Spotify, you could always hit the share button and throw it on your Instagram stories. Spread the word about the AOA podcast. We only grow from you guys. Thank you for all the support so far, but don't forget to do all those things for the algo.
Yeah, and if you're watching on TikTok, days might be numbered here.
Awkward. A little awkward situation there. Yeah, so this continues, and we'll just keep our eye on it. I don't know.
There's, it could be any number of things until they come out. I mean, they might never. How could they? They have to have an answer at some point, right? You think the next time she comes out in public, someone's gonna ask. I'm sure anybody could dodge any question, I guess. But hey, where have you been the last few months? Oh, it's a private issue, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
which cancer, colostomy bag, that all makes sense to want to try and kind of keep that stuff private, I guess.
Nothing to be ashamed of, anybody who's got something like that. But you never know. Some people don't want that out there, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a situation where she doesn't want it out in the open and whatever. Everybody's got their own their own stuff they want.
You're right. Just want to say hey to TD. Just want to say hey to Bird, who just got here. Happy St. Patty's Day. We won't see everybody for St. Patrick's Day, which, by the way, in England, December 23rd, they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. They're
2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, they're making up their own rules. They're doing whatever they want.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care.
Do you know what you would think St. Patrick's Day is the day St. Patrick was born, right? It's like his birthday. It's the day he died.
Oh, is it the day he died?
Yeah.
I stupidly thought it was the day he drove the snakes out of Ireland. That's the only fact I know about St. Patrick. That's the only thing I like to throw out there.
I don't know, man. I think that it's definitely the day he died.
You know what's hysterical is when you have kids and they ask you stuff, they're like, why do we celebrate St. Patrick's Day? So I said that St. Patrick drove all the snakes out of Ireland. And they were like, why did he do that? I was like, I think they were eating all the potatoes and they had to save the potato crop. I think that was it. And then I'm like,
do snakes eat potatoes?
Am I being racist here by mentioning potatoes? And I'm not, I don't even know. I just yell at them to go to bed. Like it's 4:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, just leave me alone.
My head hurts. Go to bed. You little.
I'm like, I don't know why. I feel like I don't know. We just kind of do it. It's just an excuse to.
Yeah. Is the snakes thing for real? Did he really drive the snakes out of Ireland?
I mean, I don't know if it's real, but I think it's the story, right? That's why he's so lauded.
But that's not like just something we tell kids. That's like the official story.
I believe so. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. Leave me alone. Go to bed, Frank.
I'm sorry. Well, Bird says he brought Christianity to Ireland.
No, that might have been part of it.
Oh, maybe driving the snakes out is metaphorical
For the devil?
for like the evil, getting the evil thing.
I don't know. I wonder. I'm not entirely sure. Because then I mean, I was raised by racist people, right? Sorry.
That's nice.
So I don't really. Sometimes I
hope they're watching.
Sometimes I forget. My favorite thing to do to my mom is whenever we have her on, I go, "Don't be racist." I love. To this day, it still makes me laugh.
I'm not racist.
Drives her crazy. Really drives her crazy because she's not the racist one. My father is. Okay. Stop it, Ann. Yeah, but I really like. I don't really. Who knows what's real or not? This is what I do know. I hate to be like one of these people, but I feel like and I don't know when this was set up. Because it's interesting when you go back, if you ever go back and really study the iteration of Christmas, it really isn't what it becomes today, and literally until like the 20s and 30s and 40s, like the 19
Santa, the image of Santa wasn't
all that
what
stuff,
it is
right?
now until
Right. It gets developed in this capitalist American society. So when you think about it, on those kind of terms, it's interesting that you go through 2 months of just utter nothingness and just winter and cold and just everybody's in and miserable and the days are shorter, and then you get to this time and it's like St. Patrick's Day. What's the thing down in New Orleans? Mardi Gras. Yeah, Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day. We like strategically have these events where it's like, let's go out and have some beers. Let's go out and have some drinks and food. Let's go out and have a parade and celebrate. Like it's built in. It's like you could see how we slowly ramp up our calendar year with some of these events around this time.
We ease into the year. That's for sure.
It's like
January. There's really,
yeah.
We kind of, it was Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, but
Super
not right.
Bowl.
But not even that. Like, you look at the way it, like, because you think about even back in the day, like when we were just farming and shit, like they just stayed in. They just stayed in for a couple of months and just hung on and ate what they had harvested already, and
Yeah, but we don't really party until like Mardi Gras and then Easter and.
It's literally the first little droplet is Mardi Gras, right? Lent.
Super Bowl, but that's not a holiday.
Exactly. Then it's St. Patrick's Day, and then yes, it's Easter. And like after Easter, you're off and running. And again, like you can just
Day weekend, 4th of July. You can see
right how we built in bullshit things. Like what's the one in May? Is it Mother's Day?
Yep. Well, Mother's Day and Memorial Day.
And Memorial Day, the Kentucky Derby, like the race season starts, like everybody, so everybody starts going out for that kind of shit.
Flag Day.
Yeah. It's like we
Juneteenth.
It's like we literally just started grabbing stuff and like just plug it in so we could go out and like have fun with people.
I think August needs a holiday. Well, do we have anything? I don't think there's anything in August.
No.
We need one good solid holiday in August.
In August, yeah.
It's the only month.
Like July 4th is that too, where it's like, all right, if you haven't gotten out to do something, like here's July 4th for you, because there's like a day, like you absolutely have to be doing something by July 4th.
But we should come up with something major had to happen in August, right? That'd be some kind of major event in history that we could say, all right, let's make that a holiday.
For my wife, yes, it's the day that she finally got me to buckle down. Married on August 30th. Biggest day of her life. For me, it was okay. But for her, huge.
Should that be a national holiday?
I guess so. Mention that today is the Ides of March.
Beware the
Now, do you know what that is, Frank?
March. I do. It's the old Julius Caesar whole thing. It's the day, right?
I literally didn't know. I was hoping you would have it so we didn't have to expose the fact that I didn't know.
Okay.
I've heard the expression.
That has Caesar was killed, the whole thing. I don't know. The Ides of March.
Caesar did a lot of messed up things, but one thing that we have to give him credit for is that salad. It's exquisite. I mean, it really...
You think he made that, or like his people made that and they just said, yeah, all right, credit this guy?
100%. No, I think it was him.
It was him by himself. He was like in there and was like,
it's like whip the egg.
There should be Parmesan in this.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right.
And I'll tell you what, he didn't even think it was that big of a deal because of all the other stuff he had going on running the empire. Little did he know that was going to be the thing that lasted the longest, is the salad.
I mean, name something else that besides Ides of March, that we attribute to Julius Caesar.
It's all about the salad.
All right.
Thank you, Mercury.
That's a good salad.
Insert the more you know thing here.
Croutons or no croutons?
I'm a small crouton guy.
I'm not a big crouton fan. I don't like crunchy bread in my salad. I can't.
I do
Give me the
enjoy it,
salad.
but sometimes they're too big, and I'm just gonna walk out of there with a bloody mouth.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's just they're annoying. If I'll eat them. If I had like a bowl of crude, I'd eat them like chips. But I can't have them in my salad. It's like, what am I like? It's like, why don't you just throw some rocks in there and I'll eat that too. Just mix up some pebbles.
There's a restaurant out by me that makes a cornbread, and then they make their croutons out of the cornbread. That is next level shit.
Cornbread in a salad.
Yeah, but it's
croutons?
Like they make a crouton out of it. It's to die for. It's to die for. Aaron C. J Sab's favorite salad to steal is the Caesar salad. A little known fact there. A little
right.
Ding ding ding. The more you
She feels the best about that because there are fewer ingredients. It's not as guilty.
That's true. Not as many counts when you get arrested for it.
I think Jack Me Off hit the nail on the head.
Some real hard hitting podcasting going on here tonight.
You missed it a few minutes ago, Jack. We were talking
busting it open.
Boeing, Kate Middleton. We're hitting the big topics here.
And the Caesar salad. We've hit the big three for the day.
Yeah, the Ides of March, man. Today's the Ides of March. We only get to talk about that once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So Caesar salad, baby.
Yeah, 100%.
Is any salad a Caesar salad if you put Caesar dressing on it?
Well, I'll tell you what the thing is about the Caesar salad. It's one of those foods where when you get it at a restaurant where they really make it, and then you think about that Newman's Own Caesar and the thing, you're like, what is that shit that they're putting in there? Because when they really make it, it's delightful. Like, you ever go to a restaurant and get them to do like a table side Caesar?
I think either way, give me the Caesar dressing out of the bottle. I'm good with that. I'm sure it's better the other way, but they're both good.
It's the difference between Domino's and a really good pizza place in New York.
Again, I'm fine with either.
You're both good with it, but when you have that really good one, you're like, oh, this is where it's supposed to be. You know?
Yeah. No,
and I'll tell you what, the really good Caesar places will make it in a wooden bowl. That's how you know it's good. It's got to be a wooden bowl.
No, that's true. With the wooden fork and spoon thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at Bird coming out with the facts here. He was born by cesarean, hence the name. His mom died, of course, but he was the first one cut out of his mama. So the cesarean is
that how we got
named
Caesar?
after Caesar. Look at that.
Wow.
All right. A Julius section probably doesn't sound as good. Caesar section? Caesarean section.
That's good. That might have been your best line of the year so far.
We're early in the year. It's only March.
Still time to beat it. The TikTok ban.
Yes.
Podcasting 101, which Frank and I come from radio broadcasting 101. Frank, you could back me up on this, is have an opinion, have a viewpoint, stick to it, right?
Sure.
That's what we do here, right? For the most part. And sometimes Frank and I are aligned on the same side. Sometimes we're not, and we argue about it. And that's what makes the podcast interesting. I'm breaking that rule here with the TikTok ban because I really don't know what to think. And I'd like to explain my side of it and then hear your side and obviously get everybody's comments on it. So for people who don't know, there's a law that's going through Congress right now to essentially ban TikTok in the United States of America. It's something that has popped up before and has gone away. It passed the House and is on its way to the Senate. President Biden said, who uses TikTok, said if it lands on his desks, he will sign it. No questions asked. And so in looking at it, and Convict Donald on TikTok, who's always great with us on TikTok, he tagged me in a bunch of things with the congressperson, Jeff Jackson, who we discovered on TikTok, right? He's the guy, remember, who just shoots it straight to the camera. I love him because he just kind of lays it all out for people. He's very open and honest. I think he's the kind of politician that we need moving forward in the world. He rose to prominence on TikTok. He even voted for this TikTok ban. Okay, so there's all the things. So I look at this and I think about it and I go, it's one of two things for me. It's the Facebooks, Elon's, the established American social media networks have lobbied enough to go out to destroy their competitor, which I believe could absolutely happen. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Then the other side of me thinks, I've never seen this government move so fast on anything. I mean, if you think about the last few things, it was the COVID relief package. And then if you go before that, it was the housing crisis relief package, right? It always seems like when there's a time of crisis, our government can move fast to get the help out there that it's needed. But outside of that, they're gridlocked and they really do essentially mostly nothing. It's very, very hard to get these bipartisan things done. This thing is passing by flying colors, which makes me think that the Chinese government is getting the data and perhaps even controlling what we're seeing might be really real, and they are genuinely concerned about it, because why else would they all be working together so friggin' quickly? I honestly don't know what to think, and I'm leaning towards the latter. But I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they said, well, whatever it is, why don't they just tell us? And I'm like, you're right. I wish they would. It would make life easier. But at the same time, I think if you start to do things like that, you scare the more I thought about it after our conversation, I think you scare the shit out of people. And I think they still see this as an opportunity of, we can get this sold to somebody in America and we don't have to damage it as much as if we say, that's right. Exactly what's happening. So that's my take on it, where I really don't know what to think about this yet, because of how fast Congress is moving on it, and because of the president who uses it goes, yeah, I'll sign it if it hits my desk. I mean, you just don't see movement like this often.
Yeah, I know. It's I would love here's why we're doing this, listed out for us. Like, what's the threat? What's the danger exactly? Here's what, and literally spell it out. Hey, this is what we're afraid of going on here. This is what's been happening. And this is why we're all kind of behind the ban. I mean, you explain it to people, it'll probably land a little softer. There are people who are going to be pissed off that this thing is gone. Big influencers and people, that just solely make their living on TikTok are going to be, it's going to hit them hard. But if they came out and told us, listen, this is what's going on with it. Here's the threat. We have to do this. Now, on the other side of it is, it doesn't seem like, it seems like anybody can create this thing. Am I wrong here in saying that? I feel like once this is it, let's say TikTok is gone, I feel like something else is going to get in there and just become the next thing.
It's possible, but to be completely honest, it's very highly unlikely. When you look at the amount of failed social media networks,
yeah, but
dime a dozen.
No, but there are only like 3 or 4 that are the top ones, and once one of those goes away, another one's gonna
I don't know, because
take its place.
Here's why I disagree. When they rose to prominence, it was MySpace, which died out. Facebook took over. Twitter and Facebook kind of came around the same. They grew parallel. I think Twitter was a little bit before Facebook, but they grew parallel and have established their settings, right? Facebook. The next big explosion that you have is Instagram, but it's cheap because Facebook buys it before it becomes what it is today, which is the third monster, right? So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You literally do not, and that's 2000 and I want to say 8 with Instagram, maybe 9. We literally do not have another one until TikTok in 2020. But that's 12 years.
Okay.
Or 10 years, whatever it was.
But now that we have it, if it goes away, someone's going to create something that's exactly like it.
I don't know. I
or it's going to be an offshoot of Instagram or something they're going to make.
I agree.
But something's going to fill its place.
There was another one. I can't think of the name of it. It was a TikTok ripoff. And it came out. We joined it. Yeah, like we do. We joined all of them. and it just fell by the wayside. It didn't
Well,
have
that's
the
because
magic.
TikTok was still there. Once TikTok goes away,
And
nature abhors a vacuum. It's just something's
you're
gonna,
right.
you
You're
know.
right. But my point is we only have a TikTok because of the pandemic. Because TikTok was Musically before they just
Yeah.
changed the name and switched some things around. So I think it was extenuating circumstances, which is why we got TikTok to begin. TikTok, I think, is here for two reasons. One is the pandemic, and two, they figured out the thing that they did different from Facebook and Twitter is they're serving you what you like. Whereas Facebook was trying to connect you with people, right? Those are two different, different things. TikTok's not
Facebook's
really
doing
trying to
that
connect you
too.
with. Not really, though.
You go on like Facebook, they have like you have your feed, your wall or whatever. Then you slide over and there's videos and it's shit that you're watching.
Now,
That's what I'm saying. They're doing that.
They weren't built around that. They were built around connection.
No, of course not. Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was the difference with TikTok. TikTok was not connection. TikTok was we're just going to give you what you like. And that's a little thing, but it's massive, and that's the only reason why they've succeeded.
I get that, but the thing is, I feel like now that there's a formula, like TikTok.
Now that it's out there,
that it's out there, there's a recipe for it, and now someone else is going to make it, and it's going to be. I don't know what the threat is, but it's going to be less of a threat because someone else makes it in a safer way or whatever the hell they're doing with it. I don't know what the problem is, but because it's a problem, TikTok goes away. Something else comes up, and hey, if you liked TikTok, this is your next app.
It's so finicky because even Pinterest, which is still around, Instagram eclipsed Pinterest. And the differences are so minute on what people like. And
I'm not saying it's going to be easy for whatever company, but
course.
Something's going to come up and take its place. Because if you look at the strength of each social media platform, TikTok's strength was videos and whatever, people just posting videos. You got that on other sites, but it's only that's what TikTok was, videos and combining it with music and whatever. And someone else is just going to make their own version of it, and it's going to be a big thing, and they're going to advertise it everywhere, and it's going to be like, hey, here it is, and you're going to get bombarded in the face with it, and everybody's going to go for it. That's my prediction.
I wonder, because there have been those things already, and they failed. They've just failed.
Yeah. But because TikTok was there.
Maybe.
Once that goes away, someone's going to need to fill the void, and #FrankTalk could be the solution.
God, I would love that.
Robin, let's get Frank Talk trending. Let's go.
I'd love a Frank Talk. Problem is though, it would just be Metallica. You'd be like, it's too much Metallica now.
There's no such thing. There's too much Metallica.
Because Jackov makes a good point. TikTok is like QVC now. So annoying with all the selling. They did over leverage their selling, their shop, and I think they've calmed that down. And I think they're going to calm it down even more because it did get around the holidays. The amount of times I saw the portable screen, oh my God, enough already with this portable screen.
Well, let me ask you. I don't do TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok in a year and a half or whatever. When an ad comes up, you can just swipe it away?
Yes.
Or is it you're stuck on the ad?
No, you swipe it away, which is also the great thing.
What are you worried about?
It's just annoying though, because you'd get it like 3 or 4 times.
It's a half second I'll never get back of my life.
You just don't want to be like, they've made a separate, like you said, you swipe to the right on Facebook. They've done that now with the shop where you can just scroll through and shop things, which I know that's what people love. Like Cuddles she does it more on Instagram where she just likes to look at bags and shoes, and it's easy to just one click and purchase. I get that there's people out there that love that. But keep that clean for the people who just want some entertainment or some quick info or some fun facts. And
someone's going to make Click Clock, and it's going to be the same shit, and nobody's going to miss a beat.
Maybe. I just think I disagree with you. I think you could be right. I think you are right. I disagree in a sense where I think it's incredibly hard to catch that lightning in the bottle.
It definitely is. But it's going to be a luck. It's going to be a luck of the draw. Whatever company has the tech and the I don't know the terminology, but the bandwidth, the
Yeah.
strength
Yeah.
to support, millions and millions of users and videos. That's the one that's going to pull out ahead.
Because the other part of it too is people are so habitual. Like we will not like. All right. So for us, for instance, you know where we are: video, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Okay, and then our clips go out on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. We'll put the same clip on Instagram, and it'll get literally. You could look this up. The last thing we put out on Instagram got like 230 views. That same clip on Facebook, 500,000 views. And you're like, it's the same thing. And this is the best
So
example.
how do you account for that?
Right. This is the best example because, again, that same clip on TikTok will be different. But within Facebook and Meta, it's the same friggin' company.
So how do you account for that? What's the difference there?
The difference, I believe, is that people on Instagram are just looking for different things than the people on Facebook, and the people on Facebook are more open to what we deliver versus the people on Instagram.
Half a million more, I guess. All right,
a crazy amount more. Because like if you look at how many people we have on Facebook, it's a ton more than like our Instagram following is like 1,000 something. So it's like. The people are following us more on those other platforms because they're more accustomed to consuming that content that way.
Right.
And the same thing with YouTube. YouTube is our most popular, and it's like it's all the same shit everywhere. It just hits differently with people, in certain spaces. So
maybe OnlyFans, like Jack says. Jack, man, are you getting on OnlyFans? Maybe that'll be the next.
That will be the
thing
next
that fills the void.
I feel bad. I saw this nurse. Let's move this over into other topics and such. I saw this nurse got fired on her third day at work because she had an OnlyFans. And I found it interesting because I thought we were kind of past some of that stuff. And I also found it to be unfair because I feel like we're in the era of a side hustle. So many people work a day job and then go and do something else afterwards, or sell shirts online, or
I
courses, or whatever.
Nobody begrudges anybody a side hustle, but there are places that don't want their employees. I don't know.
I guess so. I guess you're right. But I feel like with a nurse, it's like, all right, you help people during the day, you show some hooties at night, and it's
you help people at night.
Yeah, but what makes me think more about OnlyFans is it's a private. It's kind of a private thing. It's not like they're going on Twitter and putting it out.
You gotta pay to get it. Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
So if this nurse was stripping at night, you think she would be fired for that?
It's a good point. How probably not, because who would know? It wouldn't be.
Well, if they knew, if let's say the hospital found out,
I don't know.
I mean, is that the equivalent, or is that worse, better, or, because it's
probably
essentially the same thing. It's just, I'm sure there's just a bigger audience on OnlyFans than in a strip club, but
right, because the OnlyFans is private, but I believe you have to be able to see who's on there in order to join their thing. So that's public. So maybe that's enough. But you're right though, because if a nurse is driving 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of town to go strip somewhere, and they can do that just because it's more discoverable online.
But can they do that?
It seems unfair.
It depends. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a policy with the.
Well, there's a difference, right? Because here's the difference. Anybody can discover her on OnlyFans. Somebody in the administration would have had to have been in the strip club to see her, and that's a different story.
Yeah, I guess, or see them go in, and you don't know, you never know, or heard from someone. But I guess every place has their own policies. Like I can't, and you can't really begrudge private places their own policies, because I remember when Twitter was like, oh, you can ban this person and ban that person. Well, it's a private company. They could ban whoever they want for their rules.
Mm-hmm. True.
So if you have your own rules and you break the rules, I kind of get it. But there are rules that, like the stripping thing or the OnlyFans thing. Should it be a rule? I mean, maybe not, but it's not for me. Us, I guess it's probably not for us to say. But I might disagree with the rule. You might disagree with the rule, but it's their rule. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it sucks that someone who needs a side hustle gets fired. It's terrible, and I don't agree with the rule. But if that's the policy of the place, and it's not discrimination, discrimination rules are terrible. Like, I'm not going to make a cake for these people because I don't agree with their whatever. I feel like that's different, and I don't know what that's like a discrimination thing that shouldn't be. But if it's, I don't know, it's a tough question because are you discriminating against this person's right to strip or do whatever,
Yeah. See, I think this might be unfair, but I feel like teaching. Okay. You can make an argument that a teacher being on OnlyFans, male or female, could be a distraction to the school, right? Kids get a hold of that kind of shit. They're printing stuff out. They're taking pictures. They're sending it around. Could become a nightmare. Outside of that, I have a hard time really thinking of something.
Well, where's the line then? I mean,
I know. Well, because we talked about the woman who remember the woman who ran and who was banging her husband on that site where you had to like pay for. It wasn't OnlyFans. It was like one of the other ones, and everybody was like in favor of her. Everybody was like, I feel like that's where the tide really kind of turned. Like all the opinion was like, that's fine. She could do whatever she wants.
Yeah, it's a tough line to walk because, you're not if you're not at the place and.
Because here's the other thing, Frank. This is the other thing, and this becomes First Amendment kind of shit. What's the difference between my T-shirt selling business and my OnlyFans? Because I'm getting naked and
yeah, there's a maybe an ethics thing to it, or it's that. Yeah, they're both businesses. I get it, but then you get people get fired because they see them being a dick on social media. So there's other reasons, like outside of you being in that 9 to 5 space at 6 p.m. and you're not on the clock anymore and you're doing your own thing, but you do something crazy or whatever, that 9 to 5 job could get rid of you for being an asshole in your private life. So that makes sense too. And if I'm caught on camera punching you in the face, my job can fire me for being an asshole, and they don't want someone like that represent. You know what I mean?
Right. I get it.
So it all depends on the company's, rules and their own, But it's tough because what's the line? I mean, they could fire you for something they don't like. Like, what if I just shoved you? Is that fireable?
I just feel like we're beyond that sort of point now in this era. Especially when the robots are about to take over, which we should move to next.
I think they should hurry up already if they're going to take over. What the fuck?
It's taking a long time. Jay Sabs is here. What up, Jay Sabs?
In the house.
You read? I want to talk about the robot. You got anything else you want to talk about before we get into that?
I just want to know what the couple question is.
It's gonna be big. Let's do robot couple question. We got to get Aaron and Cuddles in for the couples question because that's going to be a good one.
Well, hurry up because no one cares about a robot.
All right, so everybody.
Unless it's a iRobot Part 2.
Well, it might be.
Is that happening?
And let me show you.
Will Smith, Chris Rock, go ahead.
What'd you say? That sounded funny.
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
And Chris Rock, both starring in iRobot. Part 2.
I like it. It would be funny if they were in a movie and then the robot just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock in every scene. That would be great.
Right.
But you don't know when it's coming. It's just random.
Yeah. So every time he pops up. Everybody's trying to fight for the first AI robot, right? Elon's developing one. Probably Apple. Probably a lot of companies that we don't even know about. But OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, they're also doing it. And their robot is called Figure One. They just put out this update, and I'm going to share it with you.
Figure bots? They're making bots with figure bots.
Dude, this one.
Figure bots.
This one scared me a little because I talk about this a lot, but we are legit getting to this place faster than I thought. In fact, the whole point of this, and if you look up figure 1 right now, every article is going to point out the fact that AI has eclipsed Elon's robot and everything else. So take a look. This is figure 1. Okay. And on the table in front of this robot is like a dish rack, and then also an apple, a plate, and a cup. All right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this is what's in front of the robot. So now the person who the robot is with tells the robot, and I'll play this, which one of these items in front of you is edible.
On a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the
So I'm sorry. The first question he asks is, what's in front of you? And the robot goes and describes everything.
table.
Great. Can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Okay. So the guy doesn't say, hand me look at Frank's face. He doesn't say, hand me the apple. He says, can I have something to eat? And the thing, as conversational as could be, goes, sure thing. And knows which object on the table is edible for a human being, picks it up and hands it to him.
You know
Are
what
kidding
freaks me out more is the sound of the voice. The voice doesn't sound robotic. It
Wait.
sounds like a person's voice.
Frank, just wait.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's the only edible. He put a in there. Okay, Frank is speechless. All right, the guy
I have
hasn't
no
shut
speech.
up in 30 years. He's got no.
I
This
like
is
the way
ridiculous.
it threw. Can you go back like 5 seconds? I like the way it threw the basket when it was done loading the trash.
I didn't even notice that.
It just goes.
And by the way, for those who are listening, the guy dumped the trash out as he was giving that command, and so it was it wasn't like the trash had been sitting there for a while
Because it's
either.
the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Watch when it throws the basket.
Oh, he did. He shoved it
Great.
closer to him
So-
too.
It's like,
Based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Now it takes a second for him to process it, the robot,
Of
but
course.
that's okay. It takes me a second.
picks up the plate, puts the plate in. Okay. Now I don't know why they chose Rob Lowe's voice for the robot, because it feels
Maybe
very
this-
Rob Lowe-y to me.
This robot's on Atkins, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But how, just the touch, the identification, the conversational tone, like I feel like we just started joking about the end of the world, and here we are. It's here. This is not easy. I know there's going to be people out there like, oh, so whatever. He put I'm sorry, but this is.
You get your robot to do that.
This is moving at a ridiculously fast speed.
My robot is not nearly as advanced as this one. Look at the one in the background. What's that one going to do?
No, I don't even know.
It looks like it's just waiting to do something ominous.
All right. Janine says, how many inches is that robot? I'm just going to read Janine's comments all from the chat instead of letting her say it. Yikes from Bird. Robin says, can you clean a litter box, Mr. Robot? Also said, my robot would quickly learn to curse. It's true. But
That'd
here's
be great.
here's the thing. We're joking around about it, and Janine goes to have a robot that clean. That's it. What cleaning service? The cleaning service is
Right.
done. Thing of the past.
That's it.
I wouldn't go that far. I think we're like at least 15 years away from that. This thing, first of all, this thing would have to go around your house and clean the entire house. I mean, it's one thing for it to pick up a plate and put it in a rack. I mean, it has to be able to navigate your house, move around without knocking shit over.
We're
far away from that.
Let me drop this on you. And this
Drop
this is the difference. And I want everybody to heed this warning. On Friday, March 15th,
The Ides of March.
9:37 p.m., the Ides of March. Here's the difference. And here's why I'm telling you the entire world will be a different place 2 years from now. 2 years from today, the world will look different. The difference between the world before 2024 and now is before 2024, if we had to innovate, okay, we had to come up with the internet or we had to come up with the steam train. We had to do it. The world has changed because now not only can we make a robot that does this, but really from here on, our work is done because what AI is doing is AI is now doing that work. It is no longer going to be a computer programmer that finishes writing the code for this computer to do it. It's going to be the computer itself because it is self-learning and self-teaching. It will figure. It's not going to be a human being that takes this robot. Let's say, for argument's sake, let's say this is step 20 of the robot's evolution. It's not going to be a human that takes it to step 50. It's going to be the robot, the AI itself that takes it there. And that's what's super, super scary because when do you get that thing to stop? Okay. We want to get it to clean our house, take out the trash, maybe fix the plumbing, a little, do whatever it can do, paint the shed, fix the roof. We want all those things so we can have more time to do everything. But how do we get it to stop? How do we get it to every movie with AI, which is I can save the humans by killing the humans? Like they're a danger to themselves and they don't see it. I'll stop.
And every time the kill switch of these, I have the kill switch. I could stop all the robots by pressing this button or saying this command or doing this. The robot thought ahead and went, well, yeah, I disabled that.
Right.
I figured out a way to override whatever the hell you just did.
Legit, that's the scariest part. This technology is going to take itself to the next level, and that's going to happen faster than any human being can do it. That's why the world looks completely different 2 years from now.
I think all this is positive, but I think there needs to be a cap on the ability to learn everything. This advanced, unlimited self-teaching capabilities. I think there needs to be like limits.
How do you do that? How?
Amount of memory, amount of RAM, amount of whatever the hell causes this thing to function.
Amount of RAM. Listen to you.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You want AOL?
How the hell? RAM's is still a thing.
Is it? Is it a thing?
I don't know. Random whatever memory. It's something.
I have an idea. Instead of giving it 1.21 gigawatts, we only give it 0.99.
See, now you're talking crazy. But I don't know. I think there needs to be safeguards in place that instead of this thing learning more than we are able to handle and more than we are able to control, we need to be able to control these things. They're not alive. They're not human beings, right? I mean, we should be able to make them do what we want them to do. Mm-hmm. No? Okay.
Yeah, but here's the problem. We live in a capitalist society.
I know. Everybody's just going to one-up each other until it's the biggest thing is
that's it.
You can't tell it from a human.
That's
what it's good. That's the eventual outcome is you're going to see a robot on the street and you're not going to know if it's a robot or a person. That's where we're headed.
Yeah.
If we get to that point.
It is bizarre to say, in our own human instincts, really prevent us from envisioning it and seeing it. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, the world is going to be entirely different. And I say in 2 years, by that I mean, when we all had that first friend that had the DVD player, right? Before everybody else. The first person that got AOL in their house before everybody else got it. 2 years, that's where we're at. In 4 or 5 years, forget it.
It's going to be insane. Oh no, I know these things are going to be so advanced. The only issue in 4 or 5 years is not everybody's going to have them because they're going to be insanely expensive. Just like the first VCR was the size of a truck.
Flat screen TV, right? Then eventually it's going to be
eventually it'll be something you could just pick up at the store.
Yeah,
hopefully by then it'll be more streamlined and not as out of control, maybe, because there are some future. I mean, my whole knowledge of the future is based on movies. Like I think most people, there are some movies where robots and humans live side by side. Well, if we're going based on you were referencing movies when it comes to the end of the world.
Yeah. No, I'm saying your thing is movies and Seinfeld, but go ahead.
And The Simpsons. But if we're going by that logic, if we're going by that logic, there are movies and stories where robots and humans live side by side and one helps the other, and it's just basically two species living side by side. Is that a possibility?
I hope so. I really hope so, because it's going to be up to the robots, not us, I feel.
Because one, let's call them species, a human and a robot, just because one species can take out the other doesn't mean that they will. But, that's like any person. Just because this person can beat up that person doesn't mean that they will.
Yeah. Well, I want to play with this too, and we're going to, Cuddles is coming on, so we could do the couples question. I want to play with this too for a minute. Let's pretend the end of the world is not coming.
Cool.
Societally, what does this do for the individual? Because think about your life, Frank. Think about how much of your day is taken up by menial, everyday tasks that you just have to do. Taking out the garbage, cleaning up after dinner, cooking lunch, breakfast, taking your dog for a walk. What is
having a servant now? Everybody's got their own.
What does that look like when you're freeing up literally 3-4 hours a day, maybe?
Here's a question. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Is there downtime with the robot? Is it like, hey, robot, come watch this movie with me?
Could be for certain people. Is that
a thing? Like, hey, robot, let's go to the park. We'll jog. Can you be my jogging partner? And you jog next to me. You play music as I'm jogging.
You make a great point. Could be. Could replace the personal. What do they call those people?
Trainers and assistants and
personal
people that are just there to help you achieve whatever goal. If it's like, hey, go to the store and get my groceries for me.
Yeah. Think about the loners in the world, because there are loners. There are people who just prefer to be by themselves, and for whatever that reason that is, now they could, like you said, come watch Netflix with me.
Yeah. Do they do that, or is it just no? I'm only here to clean the house. I guess eventually they'll be able to do anything, and they'll be able to learn how to do more. Like if they weren't programmed to sit and watch a movie with you and like talk to you about the movie or whatever, they might learn how to do that as they're sitting there.
And Vanessa's giving us hope. The Jetsons had a balanced life. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the Jetsons.
Here's my question, though. Why were they living on poles way up in the sky? What happened on Earth, on the ground?
That's true.
They got to live way the hell up in the clouds. That's what I want to know.
J. Sams would do bad things with hers, says Lindy.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I just wonder, these things have a tongue, right?
I don't see a mouth on these things. But
how fast can you set that?
I'm sure they would vibrate. If you said, hey, robot, vibrate, I'm sure they'll be fine with that. Okay. But I don't see a mouth on these things.
Oceani says, my servant looks like me. I think that's a mirror. I think you're looking into a mirror, Oceani.
Oh,
That's what I see when I see my servant. But also, yeah, you're right. What does this do to a marriage? What happens now when the robot's in there and, Janine wants one thing and the roommate wants another thing, and you know.
Well, I feel like that's the equivalent of bringing a third party into that situation. That's up to the couple.
It's weird. It's up to the couple, but you have to think just the same way we got the internet. Great. Let's look at porn. You know, the same way all that happens. Once you get the house cleaning robot, how long until you're like, should we bring this thing into the bedroom tonight? Like, how long until that happens to the robot?
It's
No,
just
that's not the couple's. It's not the couple's question.
Okay.
Just don't put the charging station for your robot in your bedroom, is what we're saying.
It's weird that it's jutting up against the couple's question, but it's not the couple's question. But it's the truth of like, okay, so for people that are into the throuple thing, probably will get there faster than the others. But at some point, like, all right, think about the couple that's having a rough time, and how one person might feel neglected. Because a lot of the times when you have those relationships, usually both people feel neglected. What happens when one of them, comes home?
This is not the question. This is not the couple question.
This is not the question. This is just coming now from what was said.
God.
Like, what happens when one of them what happens when you come home from work and your husband's in bed with the robot?
I mean, is this robot? I'm assuming it's equipped for whatever's.
I don't know, but let's look at this thing. Okay, let's say I'm sure. Who knows? One day if they'll have mouths and tongues, I don't know. But this thing's got fingers and a hand.
Yeah, but I don't trust that.
I would never put my penis in a robot's hand. Never.
You're
ever,
asking
ever.
for a problem there.
You're asking for a hospital visit. 100% right. 100% right. I agree with that.
What's this couple's question?
Couple's question is.
Yeah, you gotta hurry up.
This is fascinating.
Mute.
And then we'll get into blind top 5. Couple's question is, let's assume the multiverse is real. That we do live in a multiverse, meaning string theory. You made a left this morning instead of making a right. There's a person that lives in a universe somewhere 5 seconds ahead of you, 5 seconds after you. There's you in another universe that decided to become a plumber instead of a podcaster. Okay, all that stuff. Let's say we figure out a way to slide from one multiverse, from one universe to another. And you find yourself in the closest version of the universe. You find yourself in the universe that's closest to your current situation. Let's say it's almost identical to who you are now as a person, right? Can you sleep with Erin from the other universe without it being considered cheating?
Yes.
Yes.
Did all 3 girls say yes?
Yes.
Wait, Yes. can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Oh, yeah.
Because it's the same exact person.
Yeah. Well, is it?
Just check ID.
Just the ID. I mean, what if so everything's exactly the same? What's the only difference? There's got to be at least one.
I didn't
difference.
say no. It's not exactly the same because that's not how the multiverse works.
That's what I'm saying. What's the one difference in the multiverse? Does it have to do with the person, or is it something else out there in the world?
Who
Like everything's the same except on this planet, water is yellow.
that makes a difference for your answer?
I'm just saying.
All right, is it water's yellow? Is Erin's and Cuddle's brunette hair blonde? J-Sab's blonde hair brown?
See, does that make it a different person?
Yeah, that's different. That's you. You said you like brunettes. You go for a blonde me. That's a fucking different person.
I was gonna say because if it's a blonde you, it's almost automatic. Because I'm like this is almost like a different thing altogether. I got to get in there. I got to try it out.
No,
First of all, let me take me out of this because I was lucky enough to get Cuddles in one universe. I don't think that happens
That's
twice.
In
You
the
don't go-
infinite universes?
Yeah, you don't go back to that well. I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
Frank and I would find each other in every universe. Oh, how did you come up with this?
Well, some universes you probably are, and some you probably aren't. Does that make a difference in your answer?
Well, no, I don't think it's cheating if you hook up with any of the people, even if we don't get along, which is weird, but whatever.
So, Frank, are you comfortable with Erin travels to the other universe, finds you that universe, Frank, bangs that universe, Frank, and comes back to you?
I'm not saying it wouldn't be a conversation, but But I guess if it's me, I don't see it. It's not my twin. It's actually me. What if the difference in the universe? All right, but you're in your hypothetical universe. There's really no difference, right? We're the same person. Because if it's me, but like in that universe, I'm a foot taller and I don't know, I'm 20 pounds lighter. But it's me. It's Frank Kemp. It's me in that universe. Is that because in your hypothetical, we're exactly the same. That's your point.
I don't know if we're exactly the same, but it's you. Right, because that's the theory behind multiverse and string theory, right? There's unlimited versions of you.
Right, there's differences, but which multiverse version of me are you giving here? Is it any Frank, or is it the Frank that's really close to me?
I said one of the closer versions, but like you said, that could be you 2 feet taller and 30 pounds heavier with blonde hair.
That can't be the closest. The closest would be probably exactly me.
Well, it could be.
If it's infinite, then every single possibility exists.
That's part of the answer. That's part of the answer. Where's that line? Is it only a foot taller? Is it not? You know what I'm saying?
There is no line.
I would love to know your answer on that. That's why the question is so interesting.
There is no line, because if it's infinite, every single possibility, there's a Frank out there with 50,000 hairs on his head. There's a Frank out there that's exactly the same, except that 50,001 hairs on his head. That's the only difference probably in that universe. That's that's the infinite universe theory.
So then the question becomes is where is it okay and where is it not okay?
If it's 50,002 hairs, I'm not problem. Okay with that.
All right, Coco answered this because we posed this question. Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron, you're going to say something.
No, go to Coco.
Okay. Why no, Coco? Coco says, this became a whole family discussion. My husband and oldest daughter said it's cheating because they are different people who went through different things, so their brains are different. I believe it's not cheating because I fell in love for a reason with that person, and different universes and time I don't think would change that, because I feel like I can't even be mad at myself for that, because I feel like I would understand why I did it. Okay, I might be upset, I guess, but I feel like I would just understand. Because that's the other part of it too. You have to deal with Erin doing it.
Well, I just feel like if I go to another one and I see Frank and he's slightly different, like what am I supposed to do? Like just like play Scrabble with him? Like I'd want to kiss him. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'd want to do. I just think it would be weird, like to be like, oh, sorry, you're not my Frank, so let's just I don't know.
Yeah, here's
Netflix and not chill. I don't know.
And here's the other part.
She unintentionally brought up an interesting point here.
What? Which
nobody's got it yet. All right, go ahead, Frank. Make your point.
Well, here's my thing: is what's the purpose of the visit? Are you stuck in another dimension, universe, or are you going there just to meet a new Frank? Are you there to what is the access? Why are you accessing?
The premise is you figured out a way, unintentionally or not, you slipped into another universe. And
well, the point is, why would you sleep with other Frank when Frank is, if there's no difference?
You run into the other version of your partner.
Yeah.
And it's nighttime and the opportunity comes up. Do you take it?
Did you come into possession of an other universes machine?
Yeah, is that where this is headed? Are you the Anthony we started with?
Shh, I'm trying to get permission from Cuddles to hang other universe Cuddles.
And it is cheating. Now that
I knew she would come around. The first yes I thought was such bullshit. Go ahead, Cuddles.
Yeah. No, you want to know why? Because I'm hoping that in another universe, I do not make the same mistake twice with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to make sure that I do a lot. No, that's cheating. I'm hoping I'm not going to be the same person there. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
All right. Indira says, yes, it's cheating. It is a different version of your partner, slightly altered. So yes, it's cheating. I would not be enraged if my husband cheated on me with another version of me, just very annoyed and definitely curious how it was for him.
Well, here's the other part of it. Now this other version of you is less like you because they've had an experience. because the whole time you and this other you have been going along the same line. Now, when your wife goes to the other version of you and sleeps with that person and doesn't sleep with you in that instance, now this person veers off even more. This other version of you, and you're still going,
You're
so
saying
it changes
you'd be
that.
hurting the other version of you in the other universe.
No, you'd be changing that other version of you more
Oh,
by giving them a different experience at the same time that no experience. You know what I mean?
Got it.
That normal you is going straight. The other version of you is going straight as well. But that now there's a new experience in version B of you. I don't know. I don't know. And then it raises the question: how many other instances in the infinite universe or universes is that also happening?
Well, Bird brought up something. I was going to wait a little while longer to bring this up, but Bird brought up something that's interesting. For those of us out there that go both ways, she said, I would not only sleep with the other version of the other person, but I'd also sleep with the other version of myself. What do you think of that?
That's something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do me. That's what Margie.
Jimmy.
I'd do me.
I'd do me.
I really want to know what Aaron's top 5 is. Because this is too confusing for my brain right now.
Well, just answer the question. Would you sleep with the other roommate, or would you be mad if the other roommate slept with a version of you?
Roommate's not allowed to sleep with the other version of me, but I definitely would sleep with the other version of him.
That would be my answer too.
I could do it, but you can't do it.
I could do it, but you can't. Yeah, that's a classic answer.
Yeah.
Just put a red dot on my back with nail polish, so I know it's me, and sleep with red dot, Frank. But then, how many versions of me have the red dot?
Oh, see, Quit Your Bitchin' said that's a good KWITHER. Quit your bitchin'. It's good.
I like it.
Cheating is cheating. That's it.
There you go. Solved.
Mm-hmm. Leisha said not cheating.
Because now that other version of you has that memory that you don't.
Right.
See, I think, what are you doing to the other version of yourself? I go into the other universe and I sleep with other Cuddles. What does that do to other Anthony?
Same thing it does to you.
No, I think it devastates other Anthony.
Why wouldn't it devastate you? Same thing.
Well, because I'm the one who gets to do it.
Oh, why wouldn't it devastate your Cuddles then? This Cuddles. It would devastate this Cuddles and that Anthony.
Right. You're correct.
It's got to be your bull.
It's got to be your bull. I think that's an interesting question.
It is, if that were possible.
Could be one day. Let's wait for the AI robots to figure it out.
They could probably get us there.
Blind top 5, Aaron. Let's turn it over to you.
Give me 1 sec. I just got to get a pen.
Oh, Jesus. Look at the one who's supposed to be the most prepared. Look how... Aaron, what's going on over there?
Not a lot. I'm trying to figure out... I'm trying to check my husband for a red dot later. Thanks for that. And you've been dodging the question. What made you think of this? Do you not want to say?
Oh, no. What made me think of it? I saw it somewhere. I would love to credit who I saw it, where I saw it from. But it wasn't... They didn't get into this so much as they were like... I forgot what I saw. It was something I was reading. And it had to do with like Back to the Future, because that's my obsession. Back to the Future, running into... Remember how in Back to the Future they said, don't run into a version of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you watch the new... not the Batman, what was it? The Flash.
Right.
And then the old Batman in the Flash, Michael Keaton, describes how that was incorrect and there's infinite versions of you. It was something around all that kind of stuff. And they kind of posed this question, but not really. It was more like interacting with it. And I just thought, what would that do to a relationship? And where would that put you? You know,
Your mind is expanding.
It does feel like it would be a different person, because anybody that's not you feels like it's a different person.
Right. Exactly. And then like you were saying, I think this could be a 4-hour conversation. Because like
Nice.
Frank brings up a good point of like how close is it? He was
420 is
saying,
around the corner, man.
rightfully so. You're like, well, if it's so close, it's not that big of a difference. Well, then okay, but then where does that line go? You know, so
Why not just sleep with me? If that's if you're going over there to bang other me, just come back here and sleep with me. Why go over there? Unless you're stuck there. If you're stuck there and you got no,
you
then I
might be.
understand.
You might be.
Then if it's me and you're stuck there, go for it.
Sorry. Thought it was on mute.
All right, blind top 5.
Here we
So
go.
this one has 9 spaces. And first of all, I want to do, if she's still around, a shout out to Leisha, because she usually is the lead of the recap crew. She doesn't usually make the live show. So good for her.
Yay.
Welcome,
Shout
welcome. Leisha. And the second thing is this has 9 spots, and this is a little treat, a little love letter to the people who comment a lot and the people who have been around a while. So remember in Christmas when I had those Hallmark movies for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are TV shows starring our most popular commenters.
Our best pals.
Ooh.
Yes, our
Cool.
best pals.
All right, TV
has,
shows starring
yeah.
the best pals of the AOA podcast.
And if you don't make it this round, who's to say this is the last one? I just took 9 that I see a lot in the comments.
Okay, so nobody get offended. Good.
Nobody get
Nobody-
offended. Just
Nobody's left out on purpose.
No. It's just we can't do the all of them. Just 9 tonight.
Got
And okay, so Frank has the titles, so you can see the titles, and I'll tell you.
I haven't seen any of these yet.
No, he hasn't. And I'll tell you the description of the TV shows, and you can put them on how much you like those kind of shows, so that we're not hurting anyone's feelings. It's just how much you like those kind of shows, or whatever, however you want to rate them. But it's 1 through 9, and the first one, Frank, if you could turn the page, is Mercury Rising. This is a sitcom revolving around our girl Mercury, a gal who starts in the mailroom of a big company and through hard work and some wacky hijinks tries to make the climb to CEO. So who
Love me
likes
some wacky hijinks.
God damn it! I love a mailroom to CEO kind of a deal. That's
Glass ceiling kind of story.
I was just talking about this. What's the one with Tim Robbins? For the kids. What was that one?
Oh, Hudsucker Proxy, right.
Hudsucker Proxy. What a great name for a movie too. Okay, Mercury Rising. I love it.
Yes, spell it.
God, this is such a. I would put this higher, Mercury, but I'm gonna go 4 because I just don't know what to expect next.
I don't know what to expect next as well. I got him in. I tried to go right in the center. I played it safe. I did 5.
Here's the twist, Frank and Erin. Don't listen to this.
We're gonna get errand.
Since she's picking our best pals in the chat, I wonder if Janine gets a show.
Ooh.
Gino already got
Ooh.
out of Christmas.
What happened?
That's true.
What?
Janine got a
Gino
show at
already
Christmas.
got a show at Christmas.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Go ahead.
It's funny. Mercury put herself as number 3.
What That's not right. You should want to watch your own show the most. That's crazy. That's way too polite. All right. Mercury puts it at 3. I put it at 4. J Sabs put it at 3. I know that because it was in the chat. Frank?
No, you read my mind. You asked a robot.
Frankie, where are you putting it?
I got it in at. I tried to play it as safe as possible because I don't know which side, what's coming next, obviously. So I put Mercury Rising in at 5.
Okay. Cuddles?
4.
Okay. We're all kind of in the middle here. All right. But this clearly tickles Janine more than the rest of us. All right, Erin, what's next?
Here
Well,
we go.
just so we're clear, I think Mercury putting herself at 3. Erin just got Mercuried. Time out.
Right.
Okay, number 2 is Robin.
just got Mercury.
That just hit Anthony.
I was wondering why you didn't laugh. All right. The second one is Robin's Nest, a heartwarming nighttime drama about Robin Bracel, who agrees to foster 10 children. Through the ups and downs, they find this thing called life.
Oh,
Kind of like a This Is Us kind of thing with Robin.
All right,
Okay.
can I be honest here without hurting feelings?
Well,
Like Robin, because I think he can make it funny. I don't love the foster children shows. That's not my favorite.
It's like what's that show? Cheaper by the Dozen. Just a ton of kids in the house
Yeah,
making
yeah.
a mess.
No, that wasn't.
Seven.
That was a movie.
Oh, this is a TV show.
You're
Like just
thinking
the,
of
just the 10 of us, or 8 is enough, or
yeah, like all those kinds of shows. What was the one with Suzanne Summers on TGI Friday?
Step by Step.
Step by
Oh, I
Step.
love that show.
That was like a modern Brady Bunch, though. There was like 6 kids.
Now listen, I watched Step by Step, but I feel like it was the weakest out of all the TGI Friday shows.
Yeah, they jammed that right in the middle, so we didn't.
Let's not
tune
debate this
out.
now because it could be a blind top 5 one day.
All right, so where am I putting Robin's Nest?
We're rating the shows, Miss Justice.
Yeah, I'm gonna put not the people, right? Because if it was, I would put
No.
everybody at number 1.
No. Everybody's number 1 in our hearts. This is the show. Would we want to watch the story that is being described in these shows?
Yeah, see, Kaylin's with me, wants to see Robin in a better scenario. But I get it. You want to put a strong player in a weak premise. I understand it. So I'm going to put it at number 6. Because
Same.
again, that's mostly because of Robin.
I got Robin's Nest in at 6.
If we were pitching this show without Robin, I would put this dead last. That's just my personal preference. Jason,
Robin can make this
Oh, I
Robin's
said
Nest
7.
sing.
Am
Yeah,
I the
7
one
for
who
Robin's
really tune in every night for this show? I guess so.
What'd you say?
I don't know. I would tune into this show. I don't know. Maybe
Me
it's 'cause-
too.
Oh, I definitely tune in. These are all great shows. It's just which one.
somebody's got to be last. That one doesn't.
Somebody's gotta be last,
Yeah.
No.
1 through 9 are probably all shows we want to watch.
Yeah. Cuddles.
3. I actually like that.
See, this is Cuddles Jam. All right, so that's nice and high.
All right, Robin. I want to see where Robin put
We put it
Yeah.
at 9.
9. Robin put it in 9. Okay.
He put it at 9.
All right, here we go. We got next one.
The next one is Miss Justice's Court.
Oh, you see? Now we're on a roll here.
I
Wow.
love this just for the puns alone. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
A courtroom reality show where the people are real, the verdicts are real, and Miss Justice is the realest of all. Small claims only, please.
Okay, can I ask a question? Is this Night Court or is this Judge Judy?
Judge Judy.
Interesting.
It's real
Interesting.
court situations.
Hmm.
Court show. See, I'm not really into the
Oh, I love
court.
court shows, and that's
The
gonna
real
have
court
to be number 2 for me. Yeah.
Me too. Number 2. Love it.
Not a big reality court show guy. Night court, I'd go for that. But the real court stuff,
Oh.
I watch it in a second, in a heartbeat. But I think I'm going to put that one at 7.
I went number 3 because I feel like this is going to be one of the few. That is my favorite of all the quote unquote reality shows, because that was a show before reality shows, with the Wapner and all that.
I love them.
So I'm going to go 3.
Who was
for
the
that.
original? Divorce court, or what was the
No, People's Court.
People's
People's
Court.
Court? That was it. That was it.
Yeah. But I don't think there's going to be any other reality type shows on here. So I'm going 3 on that.
You
one.
don't know. We don't know. You're gonna get errand. See, that's why I'm focusing these answers in the middle so far. So I'm not a big. And this has nothing to do with the people on the show. This is the premises. I'm basing them on here. I'm not a big judge TV show kind of guy.
That's a lie. Because
Reality.
you tell me after every episode how much you can't stand Miss Justice. You go on and on
I
about it.
love Miss Justice is amazing. She's great, and I'd watch this show.
Miss Justice
is
and
in it.
black people. I can't get you to shut up
All
about
right.
how awful
You're
they
right.
are. It's just a never end.
Well, I don't even know why I talk to you.
All right, Aaron, go ahead. Next one.
Aaron, you with us?
I'm sorry. My screensaver reactivated and I couldn't get my password. Okay. The next one is ready, Frank?
Got it.
Aussie Royalty, a docu-series following Aussie Annie, whose family member is marrying into the Prime Minister's family. It's
See?
the wedding of the century, and you're invited.
Is this also reality?
This is
Darn.
reality. It's a docu-series following Aussie Annie, whose family member
See,
is
now-
marrying into the Prime Minister's family.
All right,
All right,
tell you,
I'm in on that one.
I was so in on it before the wedding angle. I forgot about the wedding part. Now it's the dress and the kid. I've already lived through that nightmare. I don't know if I want to live through it again.
Tell me.
Darn.
I don't think the show focuses just on the wedding. I think it's the whole regime kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. Are we allowed to ask? Is there a season 2 after they're married?
No.
Yeah, is
Is
it
Aussie Annie
limited-
still here?
Aussie Annie, I don't.
She was. I don't know if
She
she's
was
still
here.
here.
Darn. All right.
But this is not a bad one. I put this one at number 3.
Uh-oh.
What?
What? Uh-oh.
Well, all I see. Well, now I see the pictures. Are we back?
We've
We
been
never
here.
went anywhere.
Yeah, I think you might have just lost the signal for a second, Carlos. Aussie Annie is here, by the way, and right on time for me to tell her I'm putting her at number 5.
Okay.
That could have
In the
been
middle.
2 if it wasn't for the wedding angle.
All right. Not a big fan of the wedding thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the whole. It's kind of like a the Crown kind of. I'm picturing like the Crown type of a show.
No, but she said docuseries, so it's more.
Yeah.
What did Annie? Where did Aussie Annie put it? don't think
Aussie
she's
Annie did
happy
not
with
rate it.
Oh no, Aussie! It was supposed to be a shout out.
Aussie
Well,
Annie, this
to
show's
be
about
fair,
you.
Aaron, she's in Australia, so she's always a few seconds behind. Takes a long time for this signal to get all the way over there.
You got a lot of all over the map here. We got 2, 7, 3, 5, 8, 6. So a lot of all people. It depends on what people are into, what kind of shows people like. Again,
Cuddles, where did you put it?
nothing to do with the people. It's just the premises of the show that we're pretty much judging.
You're so nice. All right, they get it. It's not you just can't be mean to anybody.
I don't want to be mean to anybody. This there's nothing. I'm not rating. Oh, I don't like Aussie, so I'm going to put no Aussie Annie's at number 3 because I would watch the show.
Cuddles,
I put it at 5.
J Sams.
4.
Okay, and you're
By
at
the way,
5, and I'm at 3.
For Cuddles, this would have been number 1 prior to our wedding. I feel. Am I wrong about that?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It was the same thing like before we bought a house, we watched HGTV nonstop. Now you can find us fucking putting that channel on.
Hell no.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yes.
Here we
Okay, the next one is Bird of Paradise. A tropical island becomes home to Bird and 12 suitors, all hoping to win her heart.
Darn it. That's going to be number 1 for me.
Oh,
Sorry.
boy. See, and Anthony was like, "There's not going to be any more reality shows. This is a reality show,
A
right?"
lot more reality shows.
Bird of Paradise.
All right, I'm gonna just come right out and go with my gut instinct and feeling. I'm with J Sabs. This is number 1.
Really?
Bird's
Do you
a
watch that
wild
kind of show?
card. I don't. I don't. But because she's so interesting with all of this stuff, I feel like it would be a real just, what's that when you have to watch all the time?
Bird wrote in the chat, "That sounds like my hell."
I don't understand why nobody likes their shows. This
Okay.
should be a love letter, and everybody hates their shows.
I put it at number 9. I hate them. I've never watched The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I
Yeah.
stand them, and I love Bird, but I had to put it at 9.
Oh.
I hate them. Despise them.
You know, I feel like it's either you hate them or you love them. There's no
Yeah, I'm not a big
right?
fan of this type of show.
I agree, but I think the difference becomes when you have an interesting person in that spot.
No, that does not work. No, because you
All
might
right.
have a couple of interesting people, but then there'll be a lot of people that you're like, that person is an asshole.
Mhm.
I cannot stand to even look at their face. I can't do it. There's too many people on that could be that way. Nope.
Bird says, "LOL, much love, Aaron. I still love the shadow." But I put it at number 8 because I'm not into the type of the dating reality shows. Not it's not my jam. The only one I've ever watched, I think I watched the one with the fake millionaire one. Remember that one a long time ago? It was the guy who Joe
Yeah, Joe
Millionaire, I
Millionaire.
think.
Yeah, Joe Millionaire.
That's
All
the
right,
only
let
one
me-
I followed.
Let me defend Janine and I for a second, just for a second. And I'm with you guys on this, that I would hate all these. But for argument's sake, just go with me. He's entering a divorce. There's a reality dating show for James Hetfield. Are you watching?
No.
Not you, Cuddles. I'm trying to.
Oh, well, why is he divorced? What'd he do?
He is divorced. He is recently divorced.
Would you watch a reality dating show for James Hetfield? Conversely, I could say the same thing for Cuddles. I'm struggling to find somebody that she absolutely loves. Thinking about it.
I don't know, man.
I'm
not saying I wouldn't watch Birds of Paradise.
I know,
would
I get
definitely
it.
watch it.
I get it, but to my argument of if it's a really interesting person, you might tune into a show that you would absolutely otherwise hate.
Agreed. And I would tune into if it was Joe Schmo of Paradise, I wouldn't watch it for a second.
Same here.
But if it's Bird of Paradise, I'd watch it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Who's the person you're talking about? Joe something?
Oh, I can't. James Hetfield is the lead singer of Metallica.
Oh, no. I would change the channel right away.
There's a huge controversy on what is it? Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
I don't even watch that show, and I saw
Or 90
because it came up on my TikTok.
All those things are horrible. They horrible. And I feel bad for a lot of the people that are on the show. It's horrible.
Yeah, like I don't watch that, but I saw on TikTok, like Janine said, there was they cut the scene literally in half, and you could see another person's thing. All right, picture they have a camera on two people.
Yeah.
And they're talking, but they're looking for the reaction at different moments. So they took like this guy's moment from like later on, and they literally split screened it. But there's a couple of moments where you see his finger coming on the other side of the split screen while his hand is still like just on this side of it. Do you know what I mean?
What the hell are you talking about?
All right, never mind. We'll talk about it some other time.
All right.
But it's bad editing job, and that's like all the rage now. People are talking about reality show editing.
Maybe Kate Middleton edited it.
Yep.
Edited it.
That's good. All right, Aaron, next one.
Okay, the next one is so you think you can freelance? Host,
all of these have been great so far.
Thank you. Host TD Freelancer leads the judges panel with the help of Carrot Top and Dame Helen Mirren to see who has talent and who doesn't.
See that? Sign me up for that.
What?
It's like an X. What is that show? X Factor.
Or
judges to see who
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, and it's Helen Mirren and Carrot Top are the other two judges. Who's tuning in?
I'm in.
I hate to do this because Frank just did it to Bert. I'm going to put it at number 9.
Guess what? Me too.
J-Sabs and I are in tune on this. Cuddles, where are you on this?
I'm at 6.
Okay, middle. I put it low because where the other show is built around the person, this one is built around them being the judge.
Yeah,
that is interesting to me.
We kidding? Simon Cowell made the whole American Idol thing. You tuned in for him. You didn't tune in for the talent.
Oh,
true.
Yeah, TD Freelancer liked it. Good job, TD Freelancer.
1. Oh my God!
Everyone's like, finally, the person liked it.
See, I'm telling you. So you think you could freelance? I think is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I also like finding love more than dancing, but that's just me. But good.
Is it all dancing, or is it like a talent show?
Talent.
Talent. See, it's all different things. It could be anything.
Oh.
Not just
I already
dancing.
wrote it down. Now it's too late.
I see. I like those talent shows. I see the clips on YouTube of different talents. They're fascinating. They're interesting.
Yeah,
I think TD Freelancer and Helen Mirren and Carrot Top, that is a prime.
It's a good judge panel.
That is a good panel.
Yeah, it's a good panel. I like it a lot. Where is it? Is it in Los Angeles, New York, or on an island?
I say put it in the middle of nowhere. Put it in like Kansas.
Nice. Nice.
I'm
Coming live from Kansas.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron.
In the heart of Topeka.
TD. I know he's in the hospital, so feel better, TD.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, we didn't shout him out. TD Freelance. I hope you're feeling okay.
Oh, what happened?
She
in the hospital.
She.
She. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She has epilepsy.
Oh.
And suffered a seizure today. And is in the hospital. So we hope everything's okay. TD Freelancer, hang in there. Thank you for joining us. I mean, my God, I really appreciate that. So good luck with everything, and
yes,
tune in to So You Think You Could Freelance.
Yeah,
yes,
and feel better as soon as you can, because that's heartbreaking.
Oh my God, I cough again.
We should also shout out Paul, who has been a member for 23 months.
All right, Paul.
Don't worry about the comment that was earlier, and I couldn't get to it, but I wanted to make sure we didn't miss it, which is the 23-month shout out.
Very nice.
Appreciate that, Paul. Thank you, sir.
All right, here we go.
Okay, next up is Raven's Cravens. Raven takes us on a culinary journey from food trucks to French bakeries. Can we find something as sweet or as spicy as her?
Number one.
Oh boy, you got
Number
me. I think.
one. Number one.
I'm putting it at number 2, and I'm
Number
regretting I don't
2.
have a number 1 spot. This is better than Finding Love, which is finding a pastry.
Right.
Yeah.
I got him in. I got Ravens Cravens at number 1.
We are all food obsessed.
I'm about the food shows right now.
Yeah.
Aaron and I are watching all the Gordon. Anytime Gordon Ramsay comes out with a show, we're in. Except for that, I can't remember. There's one where he like is trying to find like the business part. That's not a good one, but the other ones where they're actually cooking, those are the best ones.
Agreed.
That's my list so far. The hell was that?
Don't know.
All right, I have 2 spots left. We all do, I think. 4 and 9.
It was me checking on my daughter's camera in her room because she keeps fucking moving. Sit
Got it.
still, and that's it.
Even she's excited over Ravens Cravens.
You're like, what is this? Okay.
By the way, these have all been 10s as far as name goes. I
Yeah.
think this might be the best name, though.
This is a really
Yep.
good one.
Yeah, Ravens Cravens is good.
So Raven, where I want to see where Raven put
Yeah,
it.
where did Raven? Did you see Ravens Cravens last night? Oh, that
Man,
that tortellini looked amazing.
you can't make it a better tortellini than that.
You
Always
gotta
hungry
see the
during
sales on
AOA, says
Ravens
Raven.
Cravens. Oh my god.
Just think about it too. We could roll it into a cookbook. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
I know.
And get Flavor Flav in on it, and Ravens Cravens with Flavin.
Ooh. All right.
All right. All right. So
Highest
waiting for-
spot for me is 5. Even Ravens getting Aaron over here.
All right. So yeah, I got 4 and 9 left.
The screen went. Hold on.
I have 7 and 8 Cuddles.
Me too, 7 and 8.
Wow.
J Sabs.
I have 6 and 8.
Okay.
Okay.
There's someone who hasn't gotten my 9 spot yet. Sorry for whoever lands in that 9 spot. But again, I'd watch all of this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have 6 and 10.
I also love that there's a visual thing
Wait,
to this. I like
there's-
Frank holding this thing up the whole time.
But there is no 10, all right? It's only
Did
9.
you just say
Nine.
10?
Fine.
Okay.
No.
All right, we're ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here we go.
Okay, the next one is Paul Collier, police cop. Can Paul? I just couldn't think of anything.
Police cop.
No, it's a Simpsons joke where they have this show called Police Cops, and it's just I couldn't think of anything for your name, Paul. So, can Paul upkeep the law while keeping his family in order? See why the city is safer when the P in PD stands for Paul.
Oh, God.
All right, Paul, you get my number 4 spot.
Same with me, Paul. You're getting 7 because it's my highest spot right now.
Me too, 7.
7, 2.
I just want to see what kind of hijinks you get yourself into.
Oh, those darned Hudge. Is this a comedy or is this a cop show
No, I think it's more like The Shield.
like The Shield? Okay.
Okay.
What that is.
Wait, did Paul stick around for this?
Let's see. Paul, you still with us?
Did you have to go solve a crime, Paul?
Gotta go. The Lord needs me. A lot of 6s in the chat. 3. Kaylin says 8. Love Paul, not cop shows. Paul says OMG, lock them up.
Aw.
I can see Paul being ruthless in the eyes of justice. If it's for justice, he can
You'll
lay
have
it
no
down.
Ruth.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Anthony, where'd you put?
7 because it's my highest spot.
All right, Paul's got it at
Finally.
number 1. There we go.
Finally, somebody put themselves a number. Finally, an honest answer. Very good.
All right, where's everybody else's?
7.
J Sabs?
That was my 7.
7, and Anthony was 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last one.
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay, last one is Christine Colson, Home Sweet Wholesome. Crafts, home decorating, or cooking for special occasions. There's nothing our Christine can't do. Live the good life with Christine as your guide. This is like a Martha Stewart kind of thing.
This is good. I can't believe how wrong I was about the reality angle. First
Yeah,
of all.
they're all almost all of them.
Yeah.
Sweet
Someone
holes.
let me know if she's still here because I saw her earlier. I don't know.
I hate my list because that's number 8. And again, I would watch that. The only thing better than a cooking show is a cooking / traveling show or a cooking / here's how to decorate the table show.
Yeah, I love those.
My only spot left was number 9. Sorry, Christine.
Oh,
What?
tragic.
But I'm watching them all. I'm watching every one of these.
8.
They're all magic.
I know it has to be an 8 because that's all I have left. But I would put that at like 2 or 3, definitely.
Here's my list.
8.
All right. In the grand scheme of ranking blind top 5s, this might be.
This is a great one.
This is
man.
top 5. It has
Yeah.
to be. This is
Well, thank you.
creative, fun, funny,
And if you-
interesting.
yeah. The titles, the storylines, backing them up. Great job.
So much.
Yeah. Oh my! How long, Erin? How long does this take you to do?
Longer than most. The only thing longer was your guys' holiday specials, but I will say couldn't have done it without the wonderful people who keep writing stuff and keep doing the support and show up every night. And what a community! Thank you so much, and for giving me this stuff. And thanks so much for always. I really love being in the chat every time that I can. So
Great job, hon.
thanks.
That was very sweet. Yeah, excellent job. I'm not going to call you hun, but you did a good job.
You call it, hon.
Not in this universe, maybe another universe.
Oh my goodness gracious! Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
So this was great, and anybody left out, don't feel left out. There was only 8 spots, or 9 spots, but you're all number 1 in our hearts.
I'm kind of excited about. Yeah, there'll probably be a sequel to this at some point. I'm
Oh,
gathering.
there's going to be more of these. These are great.
Well, what kind of cheapens this could have been 2, because it's 9. We could have really split this into 2 easily.
Well, we have endless, great people in the chat. We could always, we're going to have more and more people and who's to say we can't do another repeat of someone else in this, someone that we've had in this one, just to come up with a different show.
Excellent point. Like, what if Paul goes from being a cop to decides to be the lead district attorney then? Like,
Right.
How it happens sometimes on these kinds of shows.
Exactly. And Robin with a great point. If you love the way how creative Erin is, boom. She wrote a whole novel. Go pick it up. Robin's got the link in the description below and in the chat for Oval, a novel, all 100 just written by Erin, 100%. Boom. Available now to digitally download or get mailed a hard copy.
She is a bit too talented to be on this podcast, don't you think?
Yeah. She's a little above she's way above us.
Like, coming up
talent-wise.
with these scenarios, that's very, very creative.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Great job, hon. And thank you to everybody for participating in the Blind Top 5. We do.
I'm actually a
every
little
week.
annoyed at her that we can't actually watch some of these shows now.
Maybe we'll cartoon them. We'll create cartoons for them.
That would be nice, because now they exist in my mind, and the fact that I can't go watch them, I'm getting a little frustrated. But
I
other than
kind
that,
of
we're
want.
good.
I want to watch Paul Collier Police Cops now.
I know.
Or Ravens Cravens. I'm kind of in the mood to watch Ravens Cravens.
Ravens Cravens might be number 1, and the Christine Wholesome thing that would dominate our house. I know that for sure.
There wasn't
All right,
a bad show on the list.
Appreciate everybody. Don't forget to come back next episode, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays here on the AOA podcast. Frankie C, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys.
Yo, meat potato salad. Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.